Hi everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the progress that's been made in renewables in 2023, among other things. I'm going to go over how much ground renewables have gained, how the economics of grid storage and batteries are affecting natural gas plants, and how old EV batteries are helping the grid. Let's start with California. California is the poster child for renewables, and they made great progress in 2023. They have the most solar capacity in the country, though that will likely change this year. And during the day, their primary source of electricity is almost always solar power. And frequently it's natural gas. They have so much solar power that in the spring and summer, they often have to export gigawatts of it so that it doesn't get wasted or curtailed. However, when the sun goes down, solar power production plummets, and renewables tend to stop being their primary source of electricity. When that happens, they generally have to import some electricity, start discharging their batteries, and turning up their natural gas peaker plants, which are expensive and pollute. However, on April 2nd and May 10th, they had an abnormally large amount of wind energy, which allowed them to run primarily on renewable energy for 29 hours. That means their primary electricity source was renewable power for over a day. That sort of thing has happened in many other countries in 2023, and will happen in even more countries in 2024. And remember, this is just how it starts. First, you get an hour of being powered by renewable energy, then a few hours, then a day, then a few days. And this is happening all over the world. Wind has also been the main source of electricity for the first time in the UK for the first 3 months of 2023. Out here in Texas, we're expecting renewables to be the primary source of electricity in 2024 per the EIA. It's going to be close to the primary source of electricity in 2023. Currently, gas sits at 37% and renewables at 31%, and that is including the summer months, where more natural gas is used, but there isn't quite the capacity for renewables to provide the 60 gigawatts of power necessary yet. Though it bears mentioning that solar power created the majority of the new power required during the days on which the grid was most stressed in 2023. Next year, Texas is expected to have more solar capacity than California. I expect to see us break our production record of just a bit under 14 gigawatts of solar in March of this year, and possibly hit 15 to 16 gigawatts of solar later this year. In battery news, it's now cheaper to build and run batteries than it is to build new natural gas plants. 68 gas plants were canceled or put on hold as investors and banks are unsure if they're going to be able to get their money back. Renewables and batteries are a match made in heaven in terms of both price and reliability. And in battery usage, California is inching up towards 5 gigawatts of power derived from batteries in the evening, and that is at a time of day that isn't great for renewables. In other battery news, Texas is expected to add more battery capacity in 2024 than it is natural gas plants. ERCOT, which runs the grid that provides electricity to over 90% of Texas residents, is planning to add 25 gigawatts of battery power in 2024, and more than 40 gigawatts in each of the next 2 years, per the San Antonio Express. And for those suddenly concerned about the possible negative environmental effects of renewable energy in electric vehicles after incentives for EVs and renewable energy were passed by Congress, I have good news for you. While I've stated in a few other videos that the batteries in EVs should last longer than the cars, what should we do with those batteries after they finally don't have enough capacity to be used effectively in a car? Well, they can both be reused and recycled, and there's a few companies turning old EV batteries into grid storage. One of those is BTU, operating in California. It has 25 megawatt hours worth of battery storage from old Nissan and Honda batteries. These batteries are 8 years old, so not always great for driving a car around town, but they can handle balancing a grid in the evening perfectly well, and for many years going forward. The 25 megawatt hours facility is made up of 1,300 former EV batteries, and they had over $1 million in revenue selling electricity in 2022. I don't have numbers for 2023, but I'm excited to find out in a few months. And given that the supply of older batteries is expected to double every year for the next several years, this business model will continue to grow. These are all only stories from the US and the UK, but I could do an hour-long video on all the progress that's been made worldwide. But the focus of this channel is for people in the US. All of this is to say that the world isn't fully powered by renewables and batteries yet. It won't be tomorrow, next month, or even next year. It probably won't even be fully powered by renewables in a decade. We are, however, expected to have solar as our primary source of electricity worldwide by 2050. So keep in mind that it's small improvements over time that make the world a better place, and that's what you see here. So on that note, Happy New Year and happy charging!